BioWare always dedicates so much time and effort to the romance options in each of their games that, based on the types of conversations in which people tend to engage about Mass Effect, an outside observer might be forgiven for assuming that it's actually a dating sim. It is no wonder that within minutes of the first Mass Effect Andromeda trailer, a common reaction among the fandom boiled down to, "This looks great, now who do I get to romance?" So to celebrate what many consider their favorite aspect of the Mass Effect universe, we asked fans what their favorite romance options are throughout the series. After over 8,000 votes, this is what we found. My name is Tucker, and welcome to MassEffectFollower. Earning a whopping 27% of the vote, everyone's favorite archaeologist turned shadow broker, Liara T'soni, stole a not entirely surprising lead. Having shown up for much of the promotional material since the first game, as well as the publicity gained through Fox News' infamous, albeit poorly researched attempt at a controversy, Liara's victory in this poll was almost destined from the start. We don't mean to downplay the quality of her romance arc. However, being one of the few love interests available to players since the beginning, BioWare took full advantage of the time that was given for the character and relationship to develop. Liara's progression from intelligent but naive scientist to one of the most powerful individuals in the known galaxy is well thought out and seems very natural, while her relationship with Shepard, even if you choose to remain platonic, feels emotional and real. You have to have a great character first before you can have a great romance, and Liara ticks both boxes with gusto. Next up, with a very close 25% of the vote, is the adorable genius Korean engineer Tali'Zorah Vos Normandy. Feel free to debate what you consider her true name to be in the comments down below. This one also likely comes as a little surprise to many of you watching. Among the fandom, Tali has her own extremely dedicated subsection. Even one of our writers here at MassEffectFollower may or may not be a self-proclaimed Talimancer. Tali's popularity was evident even before she was an official romance option. In fact, while she wasn't a love interest in the original Mass Effect, BioWare has said that she originally was slated to be romanceable, but that changed somewhere during development. Based on the fans' overwhelmingly positive reaction to Tali's boundless enthusiasm and slightly awkward demeanor, the developers made the decision early in the development of Mass Effect 2 to finally give these players the chance at love that they've been waiting for. Third in the polls, with a more distant 12%, comes Garrus Vakarian, expert sniper and your best friend. Like Tali, Garrus was loved by fans immediately, but wasn't given his chance at romance until the second game. Whether it be his smooth demeanor, his stellar voice acting by Brandon Keener, or a combination of both, fans took to him like a moth to a flame with a really sexy voice. Garrus's popularity is interesting, considering his distinctly alien appearance. Most of the time, romance options are created to be physically attractive to the player, or at least to an extent. Sure, many will say they find Garrus attractive, but realistically, an outsider would most likely not look at him, or any Turian for that matter, and say, "Dang, that thing's hot." The fact that players flock to him in droves almost purely based on his personality rather than his looks says a lot to not only about the types of people who play Mass Effect, but also BioWare themselves for creating such an engaging character. Coming in close to Garrus with an 11%, we have Miranda Lawson, Cerberus cheerleader and an all-around perfect killing machine. Modeled after and voiced by the talented and famously attractive Yvonne Strahovski, Miranda was initially received with a bit of vitriol from fans. Some claim that BioWare created her just for her looks, claiming her character has little substance. With her skin-tight uniform, it is not difficult to see why someone might make that assumption. However, for those who choose to actually get to know Miranda, they found a satisfyingly deep and complex character. Here was a woman genetically engineered to be perfect in every way. And while she resented this to an extent, she also used each advantage that she had to its fullest potential. A seasoned leader, a deadly soldier, and a gifted biotic, Miranda proved to be not only a valuable asset to Shepard's team, but also a valued friend, and to some, even more. Bringing up the rear in the top 5, say hello to the psychotic biotic, Jack. She will destroy you, and you'll totally be fine with that because you probably deserved it. With 6% of the vote, Jack stole the hearts of many a player with a redemption story worthy of Les Miserables. You may disagree with that sentiment, but you cannot deny her story arc is engaging. Starting out in Mass Effect 2 as the most dangerous inmate in a top security prison floating in space, most players will already be completely on board with having her on their team. You need the best, after all, but have a couple of conversations with her, learn her backstory, and you begin to see through the admittedly rock-solid exterior of death and destruction that she puts on. Those persistent enough were treated to a climactic scene where those walls come crumbling down, beginning a surprisingly emotional romance. Watching Jack's development into a competent and protective teacher in Mass Effect 3 is already satisfying as her friend. But if you chose to pursue a romance with her, it makes you that much more proud of what she accomplished. Alright, before we wrap up this video, let's take a look at a few of the choices that weren't so popular. Diana, Allers, and Morinth take pretty understandable spots in the low spectrum. Many are bitter about Diana's inclusion in the Mass Effect universe for a few reasons. Some say that Emily Wong or Khalisha al-Jalani would have been a much more preferable choices for reporters to have on board the Normandy, considering their presence in the series since the beginning. Others didn't like her rather sparse character depth when compared to other potential romance options. Overall, Diana did not have the greatest reception, yet with 39 votes in the poll, it is clear that not everyone feels that way. Meanwhile, Morinth will literally kill you if you pursue a romance with her, and still, 21 people in the poll chose her. Now that is dedication. Steve Cortez occupies another slot in the low section with 25 votes. Maybe it's because he's only available as a same-sex option for male characters, and maybe it's due to him only appearing in Mass Effect 3? Either way, the people have spoken, but we can't help but feel sorry for the guy. Finally, the lowest of the low, the person with the least votes, the ultimate anti-Casanova is Jacob Taylor. With only 3 votes out of a possible 8,000, the people have spoken. Now, Jacob is still a good character. He's loyal, a good fighter, and he has solid morals. But then he cheats on you. No matter what you do, if you romance Jacob in Mass Effect 2, you will find out in Mass Effect 3 that he cheated on you with somebody else. They're happy together, and that's great, but come on, not even a Dear Jane letter? So that's our look at some of the most popular and least popular romance options in Mass Effect. So what about you? What are some of your favorite romantic moments in the series? Anyone you wish was a romance option? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you are there, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video.